Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And I want to welcome you here today because this is Exit California, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Bye-bye, Cali. Residency in another state. Why? Well, I'm going to go over that now in this video, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Exit California, and welcome. Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to thank you so much for being here on the Stop Struggling Now YouTube channel page. And please share the videos because you never know who you can help. And that's what we're trying to do here, is help as many people as possible to their financial freedom, get their freedom papers. And please notice the join button over here on the right hand side. This is how you become a member of the channel. That means you will have an icon next to your name when we run our live chats. That's why you see the icon, and you receive special messages under the community tab specifically for you. And you can join me on any of our live streams because under the community tab, I give you the special link to join me if you would like to be live on air with me. And also, you receive 1 or 2 videos per month. Now, let's get into it because today is Exit California. You guys have heard me talk about it. Now I'm going to talk about why I have to exit California. And again, we don't have to, but the point is, why keep giving your hard-earned money away for free? That's all I can say about it. You're just, wherever you live, you live. So therefore, if where you live is not dependent upon how you make your money, then you're just throwing good money after bad if you're living in an environment where they're taxing you more than anybody else for almost everything. And don't let the internet fool you, because we're about to show something today, and that means me. Here goes the first thing. I'm just going to preface this whole thing first. I'm going to use the KTLA. Number of people moving to California drops. Of course it does. Now, this is from December 2021. And it's not so much this. This is just Los Angeles County, just to give you an idea. But they're saying 58,000 people moved away in the third quarter. Not the whole year. Third quarter, damn near 60,000 people left. But 25,000 people moved into the county. So therefore, we don't know if it's county to county, state to state. But the point is, the number of people leaving California heading to other states had already been climbing since at least 2016. Now, of course, there's people who have exited and said goodbye, and this in turn has increased the property values in other parts of the United States. But in California, we have situations that are just unbearable, such as this right here. The typical home value of homes in California is $735,000. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but in about 45 of the 50 states, if you bought a house for $700,000, it wouldn't just be a house. It would be mansion with acres. But in California, it's just a house in a neighborhood. Okay? That, when you start thinking about it, it starts being ridiculous. So, a lot of people do make a little bit more money in California. In fact, why don't you find out how much people make in California? The median average is only $63,000. That's it. So let me give you an idea. You cannot buy a $700,000. In fact, you can't even buy a $400,000 house with a household income of $60,000. All right. So here's one of my reasons why exit has to happen. Or shall I put it another way for everybody in California? your state of residency needs to be in another state. Let's put it that way, because this is the SSN Nation. You know how I like to give you guys the real deal. Just make sure you can have a house in Cali, you can rent in Cali, but your residency, you need to make it another state, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let me start out with the first things first, because we're going to get into the house. The house is the number one thing, okay? So, in the state of California, if you start looking on the internet and they say some crazy, goofy stuff where they go, hey, you know, you only pay like 1% in tax, 1.2% in tax. Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. On a $700,000 house assessed, you're going to be paying over $10,000 a year in real estate property tax. So when all this balabahoo, when people are talking about, hey man, I'm going to pay cash for a house, I own it free and clear. Sure you do. Try not to pay taxes for on $10, $12, $13,000 a year for 4 or 5 years and see what happens. That's right. 4 or 5 years, you're going to owe you're going to owe more than 50 G's. All right. So that house could be taken from you. Never mind about supplemental taxes that they don't even talk about half the time. You can go online and go look at My Old Place and you'll see where it says taxes are $10,000 per year. Yeah, well, they don't talk about those special taxes where they said, well, we got to charge you an extra 1 or 2 G's. See, that's the thing that's missing. And once again, homes are half the price for a bigger size in like 45 of 50 states. Now, we're not going to get into the tax situations, but of course, I'm going to talk about it. So if I'm paying more tax, that's just for starters for where I live. If I own a home and it's significant, $10,000, $12,000 a year for this $700,000 average home price. Now, imagine if the home price is more, you're going to be paying more than 10. Now, that's just for starters. Let's get on with the cost of living. The cost of living, here's the average, $3.31. This is on 124.22. In California, you're paying $4.60, $4.70, $4.80, $5 for regular gas. A whole nother $1.50, a whole nother almost $2, depending on premium, mid-range, or regular. This is outrageous. This is how people get around. This is how you get to work. So every day you're paying these extra fees. For what? You're going to a job to work. You have to get there no matter where you live. You got to drive and go to the grocery store. You got to drive and go shopping. You got to drive and go do something. So every time you drive, you want to pay an extra $1.50, $1.75? Why? Makes absolutely no sense to me any longer. How can you justify this? This isn't like an extra 25 cents or an extra 30 cents, an extra dime. This is whole dollars. This is craziness when you think about it. So I'll keep moving and I won't even get into, here goes I brought this up because this is a $2 million home where they try to make it seem, see these green areas where they go 1% to 2%. That's very nice, okay? This is just general rules. But again, until you live there, you don't really know how much it's costing you. And I'm going to say one other thing. The prices in most other states is less anyhow. So it's not so much the real estate values. I want to talk about taxation in the state of California. Here's the other reason you have to think about exiting. You have state income tax on top of your federal tax. Now, how are you supposed to justify it costs you more money to live in California? Again, here we are with this $60,000. I'll stay in this ballpark here. You got to give up $2,600, $2,700 plus 9.3% of the amount over 61. So we'll drop down. You got to give up $1,672 plus 8% of the amount over 48. So let's just say it's 58, 10 G's. So you're going to pay thousands of dollars. This right here, again, when you start adding in real estate, Then you start adding in state income tax. And oh, by the way, when you start considering there are other states that have no income tax, no state income tax whatsoever, all this state income tax money that you've been paying for years would have been in your pocket. So let me get this straight. Lower prices, let's say for fuel, lower taxes for real estate, no tax for state. That's thousands of dollars that you could be saving every year. We just now getting to the tip of the iceberg, ladies and gentlemen, because once you start realizing you have to make more money in California, which also means federally, you're going to be paying more taxes. Also, so you're getting dinged again because of your residency, because of where you live. Now, we're also going to talk about grocery store. The grocery store prices. Just because you pay more in grocery prices in California doesn't mean the shelves are packed. The shelves are just like every other place, every other grocery store in America. Half-ass empty. Spaces are missing. But yet you're going to pay an extra 50 cents, an extra $1 per item because you live in California. Now, you guys know I've been hanging out in Florida, and so there's a drastic difference from the time when I'm in California shopping and when I'm in Florida for months shopping, and I come back and forth and I'm sitting there going, this can't be right. An extra $1 for the same thing that I was buying in Florida? I'm paying an extra $1 or $1.20, $1.50 less in gas for every time I go to the pump? I'm sitting there like, this is outrageous. Because I don't have to live in California. You can always come to Cali. But here's the point. Cali is a great state to live in. There's lots of opportunities. You can go all over. You have the coolest cities. LA, San Francisco. There's no argument about that. You're close to Vegas. You're close to Phoenix. I mean, there's some international cities that you can be in within 2 hours where air or car. So that's one of the good things. But why are you giving your wealth away when if you're able to save $8,000 to $10,000 per year, that could have been in your pocket and you could have used that at a lower price location, which is what a lot of people are realizing. They're sitting there saying, man, I make all this money, but I have to give it to all this tax situation going on. Now, I'm going to bring this up because a lot of people don't consider this either. I have 4 vehicles, all right? 1 motorcycle, 3 cars. That's it. I have to pay $1,000 per year, damn near, for those vehicles in registration fees. All right? Now, not only the registration fees, because the older the vehicle gets, they have something in California called smog. So now because of my older vehicle or 2 older vehicles, let's call it 6 years old vehicle, they go, oh, due to our information, the odds are that your car probably pollutes because, they track all the vehicles. So you got to go check smog. So you can't go to the smog that's $25. You got to go to our gold smog that's going to cost you $60, $70 or more to go get smog now. So not only do I have to pay $1,000 in registration fees, now 1 or 2 vehicles might have to go to the smog shop. So you might as well just add on another 100, 200. And if it doesn't smog, well, that's a whole nother issue. You can't register your vehicle. Therefore, you're going to have to fix whatever that smog issue is, which now is going to cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Hundred or thousands of dollars, not hundreds of thousands. But it could cost you $500, $1,000. Who knows? But you have to spend that money. And there goes some more expenses. Other states, 3 or 4 vehicles, $300 or $400. All right. This is absurd. And the roads still tore up. The bridges still tore up. There is no differences. All right. Still the same as if you didn't pay no tax at all or didn't have these high registration fees. All right. So Why would I keep paying these amounts after all these years I've been paying? But as I got older, I'm sitting there going, now finally, after staying in another state that doesn't have all these ridiculous fees and taxes, I'm like, wait, why am I paying all this money? For what? And by the way, if you did want to buy a $400,000 or $500,000 house in any like 45 of the other states, you would be living in a mansion. Let's just call it what it is. All right. So reducing your taxes is a good thing. All right. So those are the reasons. Those are the starter points. Here's the tax foundation. This is 2020 sales tax. Again, you see California over here on the right-hand side. It says 8.66%. The darker ones are actually the higher tax sales tax states. So when you look at number one is Tennessee, a lot of people move into Tennessee, but 9.5% sales tax is kind of hefty. Arkansas is number three, 9.47. Louisiana's 9.52. These are sales taxes, 10% damn near. California's 8.66. But again, what they don't tell you is in certain local jurisdictions, they add on additional 1% tax, an additional 0.5% tax, depending on what city, state, or county you're in. Some places you can end up with 9%, 9.5%, depending on what city, state, and county you're in California. We're in California state, but you could be in a city or county. All of a sudden, that 8.6 is 9.6. It varies. So once again, it's number 9 out of 50. So even if you're taking that $1,000, how much do you spend a year? So if you go, hey, you know what, I shop and I spend, I don't know, 10, 15, 20,000 a year. Hey, I bought a car. That extra 1% starts adding up. That extra 1% is money out of your pocket because of where you reside. Again, another idea and another reason why you have to consider exit strategy and why I considered exit strategy, and that's why it has to be gone. I have to be a resident of another state. Let's just put it that way. I can always come back to Cali and enjoy Cali life, but that doesn't mean I have to be a resident of this state. All right? Residency matters, and that's all I'm going to say here, ladies and gentlemen. And now you know why Exit California is in effect. Now, some of you may be going, hey, Eric, what about politics? I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Politics is a way of life. That has nothing to do with this decision. Just because California has traditionally been able to tax people like the Roman Empire, and people were like, you know, we're good. We're going to keep paying it because we like, you know, how California lifestyle is. Now people are acting like the other side of the Roman Empire on the downfall, where they're like, whoa, we can't keep paying 20% of our funds to the California cause. You guys are getting kind of crazy and greedy here. There's no return on any of this money that we're giving you people. Just because we have cars, just because we have houses, just because we go to the stores and buy, you're penalizing us. 8%, 10%, 10%, 2%, that adds up. And then we still got to deal with federal government too. All that adds up, ladies and gentlemen. So anyhow, hopefully this is short. Hopefully this is sweet. But I just wanted to give you some ideas of why people are exiting California, and I'm one of them. Because there's other opportunities out here when you're saving yourself $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 per month. That opens the door for a lot of things that you're over here in Cali scraping by. Now, I'll say one other thing before I go, and that is this. Watch some of my videos from 3 years ago. 3 years ago, 2019. And some of them I'm standing outside of where I used to live, in this so-called upscale neighborhood. And the funniest thing about this so-called upscale neighborhood is we had people who work for Facebook, Google, IBM, lawyers, ambassadors of the United States. All kind of people lived there. You want to know what's funny? How many of them did I see walking their dog between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. in the day? Nobody. You know why? Because even when you do make $200,000 a year, $150,000 a year, guess what? When you're paying $20,000 a year between taxes, cars, state taxes, you're paying almost 15% of your income just to that. Never mind the federal government gets their kickback. That's why both people are working. That's why people are living still paycheck to paycheck. And again, if I could tell you all the times that I went in somebody's house and they're making allegedly all this great money and they have hardly any furniture in their house. You know why? Because furniture costs a lot of money, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Go shopping for furniture sometime and not get that IKEA crap. Go down there and go look for some real furniture. And now you're going to see why their house is empty, because that is mainly the point. No pictures on the wall, 1 or 2 seating areas, but got damn near 3 or 4 or 5 bedrooms. Not all bedrooms have beds in them, but yet they live in this upscale neighborhood. That is the facade of California, even though there are a lot of people that make a lot of money who do things like you would expect. But a lot of people are still living paycheck to paycheck. They have to leave and go to different parts of the state just to live there because they can't live in the Bay Area where homes are even more stupidly priced. 1,200 square foot house, $1.5 million. So instead they move to Sacramento where you can buy $800,000 house that has like 3,500 square feet. But yet they still have to work in the Bay Area. So now they're leaving to go to work in the Bay Area while their nanny is taking care of their kids. Or forgive me, Pierre. Disgusting when you think about it, but some people are choosing that lifestyle. And with all that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. And that's why we always try to talk about making sure you can keep as much money in your pocket as possible so then you have options. Options, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're going to need from 2022 on, because our government is failing us. All governments are failing us, whether it's state, city, county, federal, failing us. Middle class, wipe out. Protect yourselves. And with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.